And this week we've got an all-important Facebook Live of how not to cold call. So we've talked before about getting past the gatekeeper and we've talked about sales process, but I want to fill you in on what happened. So why are we doing how not to cold call? So a few weeks ago, we got an inbound cold call from somebody we didn't know who wanted to sell us branding and printing services. So I took the call. Hi, Simon Hayers. Hi, Simon. So I took the call myself. And again, what usually happens, this is a top tip for anybody that's trying to sell to Team Godmother. As soon as we get an inbound sales call, I will start the timer to find out how long they talk before they engage me. Because the top tip for all cold calling, you know, it's got to be engaging. You've really got to get in and make a relationship really quickly. So she spoke for, I don't know, I think we timed it at, was it something like 3 minutes, 4 minutes? It was a long time. And I do this, and I do that, and I do the next time, and I do the printing for all these fancy skills. Hi, Gay Coleman in Scotland. You know, and I do this, and I do that, and I do the next thing. And, you know, for those of you who know the colours and the behaviours that I talk about, I am red, yellow, so I'm always task focused, I'm always extrovert, I have no hesitation to cut somebody to the quick if they're not cutting to the chase when they're trying to sell to me. But again, I'm quite yellow, I'm quite relationship focused, so I always, as a business owner, I believe in business karma, really try to give out what I get, what I want back. So if I'm doing cold calling, I want people to be nice to me. So if people do cold calling, I try and be nice. But eventually she just was going on and on and on and on. And what I said was, like, you know what, I did the line that you will all know well if you sell. Just send me an email with the information. So again, you know yourself, as I've taught you in many of the lessons, you know, sales can come between the first and the 12th touch point. So many people will send the information and never follow up, or never follow up with purpose. So, you know, when she sent me the information, she really, you know, we weren't looking for any of the things that she was selling. She hadn't sold me any benefits as to why I should listen to her, work with her to talk to her. And honestly, guys, it's probably one of the worst inbound sales calls I have ever had. You can tell I'm a professional because I'm not naming and shaming the name of the person or the company, although I would really love to, but I am not. So she sent the information and I just thought, I can't let this one go. This woman really needs my help. It's like watching somebody drowning and not sending them the life jacket or the life ring. So I sent her a message to say thank you for the information. I'm not quite sure how your current strategy is working for you. So you know what, I think perhaps it would be really good to continue this. I'll leave it to one of my sales guys to have a conversation. So, you know, I was quite nice, I was quite gentle. So those of you who know, Jordan's not with us any longer, so I think it kind of fell down a bit of a gap. But she didn't give up, which again, you know, I reward tenacity. So she phoned 2 days ago and Kaya took the call. Again, tenacity. She knew the triangle. She knows I'm the man, I'm the decision maker. She knows that Kaya's the influencer. So, hi Simon. So it was really, really good. So it was what happened after that you really, really need to learn from. So what did she do that was so bad? Again, she didn't engage me at all. She didn't ask me about what I thought or what I wanted. She just started to sell. So I did think it was a bit like cat and mouse. She didn't know I was a sales trainer. She didn't know anything about the company. She didn't know I had sales coaching solutions and the entrepreneur's godmother. So my top tip number 1 is do your research. You need to know if you're going to, you know, cold calling isn't for everyone. It's a big, bold game. But if you're going to be putting your neck above the block, know who you're phoning. It's not 1984. So she didn't know anything about me, she didn't know anything about the company. But what was quite interesting was she said, yes, and we do branding. You know, we think that maybe you could be doing with your rebranding, which again, I've got two websites. One does need rebranded, to be fair, and the other one has just been rebranded. So when I said to her, okay, so what is it about my site that needs to be rebranded? Bearing in mind she doesn't know my name, apart from the conversations that have gone back and forward, or anything about my company. She didn't ask when I had rebranded, so she said, well, it looks a bit tired. You know, your brand looks really tired. It looks very dated. So, of course, I asked which brand, because one brand does look dated and she potentially would have been right, but the other one has only been rebranded, as you guys know, within the last month. So when she said it was the Entrepreneur's Godmother, you can imagine how I actually was taking that reaction. So, you know, never fall into the trap of actually giving an opinion at that point. I'll come back, Simon, to the comments on it, because I do believe that, you know, you can outbound call, but you need to do your research, and you need to use LinkedIn to know. And again, there will be people out there who, you know, if it's a website that's not mobile friendly, that has had, you know, you can see at the bottom of the website that it says built in 1926. You know, there are reasons that you think that's a prime prospect. How can I engage with them? But that's where, again, you would never say, well, actually, your website's rubbish. It's not mobile friendly, and it doesn't represent your brand. You need to get the person who you're selling to come to those conclusions themselves. And how they come to those conclusions is by you asking them questions. But, you know, for me, if she wanted to sell me, which would probably, let's say it was a £2,000 package, if she's based in Bristol, she shouldn't have been selling anything apart from the appointment, the benefit of me to see her. So, you know, if you have a little look at it, so the top tips so far, guys, because these are imperative, do your research, check out their website, check what they do, you know, and again, we looked at getting past the gatekeeper. So, you know, using a really good, strong introduction about what's in it for them. So for me, when I introduce myself, if I'm on the phone or if I'm on live video or if I'm, you know, teaching, it's, hi, I'm Alison Edgar, the Entrepreneur's Godmother. And what I do is I work with small businesses to help them increase sales, because it really ultimately helps them to, you know, to be able to make more money. Which department is it that deals that? I think it's actually Jenny in HR that would be dealing with that. Is that correct? Yeah, hold on and I'll put you through to Jenny. Oh, hi Jenny. I've had a look on LinkedIn. I can see that you've got quite a big sales team there. The purpose of the call, I've worked with quite a lot of blue chip companies, and I've also worked with a lot of small businesses, and I make really good impact to the sales teams. I just wondered, how do you currently do your training? You see what I'm doing there? I've given an introduction about what I do, but I'm actually asking her straight away, how do you do your training? How effective is that? Okay. How likely, oh, you've got a trainer, okay. How likely would you be to change trainer? Because what I thought was, actually, if I come to see you, we can have a little discussion, because there's potentially things that I could do to complement your existing supplier or to complement. So again, it's okay to do that. But, you know, you have to make sure that you're just not talking about yourself all the time. That's my top tip. So Simon did have a question, but I couldn't see it, what the question was.
He just said, I hate cold calling. I try to make sure all my calls follow up after touching the person several times.
Yeah, so again, following up. And I think, do you know, it is interesting, Simon, because you get a difference in there between what's a cold call, when you follow up, how often you follow up, and when do you stop. So again, I know that's another topic, but I think it's good learning, and we have got good viewers today, so I'm really happy to share that with you. So, you know, there is that most sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So if you just make one phone call and then stop, you're probably not going to do that. For me, the line that I use, which is great, I've got my own little Alison Edgarisms. Every time I follow up, I say, it's Alison Edgar, the Entrepreneur's Godmother, and I am practicing what I teach. Because what that does is it shows that I really want to work with that company. And even, I mean, there's a company that I was passed as a lead from one of the clan. They said, look, can you contact these people? They're part of a networking group and they are looking to do something in sales. So I had a good conversation with the man. We had to really sort of negotiate when I was going to come to see him, but the phone rang, he got sort of called away. So again, I had to call, I think I called another 3 times and left messages. Now, if they don't get back to you, again, it's not that they're not interested. Sometimes people are busy. But one of the things that happened with that one was you can use email as well. And what you want to do is test intention, guys. So, you know, is he avoiding you or is he still interested? So again, by putting some really nice questioning technique in there, you know what I just want to find out is like just how likely you think this training is to go ahead on a scale of 1 to 5. So again, it gives them the chance to say, you know what, I'm not interested, or actually I am, but the timing's not right, or my team don't think they need training, or you know, whatever it is. Simon says, when I sell myself against other trainers, I always, oh, missed that bit. What did it say? I always
ask how I can complement their skills. So there's a collaborative element.
Collaborative element. Simon, you know, we are the sales brother and sister, because you know, it is all about collaboration. And there will be things that, again, you can do collaboratively to work together. So, for example, Simon does a lot of sort of management training. That's not anything I do. I stick to core sales. I'll do a little bit of communication around disc, but that's where even people who are, in theory, competitors in your field, you can work together with. And it has happened. We've got a big client in Somerset and I'm working with a leadership and management coach, and I did the sales training. And what it does is, you know, having 2 trainers teaching something amazing just makes it a stronger proposition, and it makes better, you know, better results. And ultimately that's why you're in there. So, you know, I think having belief and passion in your product or your service, you should not be afraid to pick up the phone. You should not be afraid to, if you want to work with, in my head I'm thinking JC Cooper. I don't even know if there's a company called JC Cooper, but if you know that you know, they need customer service training, or they need a new website, or they need whatever it is, you know, don't shy off getting involved and actually, you know, doing business with them, but just do not pick up the phone and cold call without knowing and talk about yourself the whole time. Because if you do, well, I'll tell you what result to expect, and that will be no result at all. So I would like to talk about a couple of things as well while we are on Facebook Live. Easy Peasy Sales, one of my favourite days of the whole year, is coming up on the 20th of September. It's in Bristol, 10 AM to 4 PM. It's 129 quid. Guys, you know, these prices, the reason that I do this is I want to teach as many people to sell. Those prices, compared to other products on the market, are, you know, great value for money. Daniel says, do you use LinkedIn to reach out to people? Oh yes, Daniel, all the time, via phone. What way do you like? I would use LinkedIn first. Now, for those of you watching, Daniel actually reached out to me on Facebook, sent me a private Facebook message to do with our SEO, really trying to engage more in our social media. So, you know, Daniel's not afraid to pick up the phone. He got a few minutes of my time. There's a couple of things that potentially we might do in the future. But again, it's about building that relationship. So it's the fact that Daniel comes into the clan and I know who he is, because you're more likely to buy from somebody you like, know and trust. So guys, build the relationship, like, know and trust, mingle. You know, you've got the clan there. One of the things that I love about the clan is you're actually all, you know, doing business with each other. Even this week on one of the feeds, you guys are doing business together. So, and another thing, somebody came on Easy Peasy Sales Live, and I've been doing, August is a wee bit quieter for us, which is really nice. So I get a chance to speak to our customers. And I spoke to one yesterday and she said, oh, Alison, I'm still using loads of stuff that you taught me on Easy Peasy Sales. And I said, that's great. She goes, but you know what? I picked up a new client that's really changed my business. I get lots, you know, I got lots of work from this client. We're working together and he's recommended me to other people. So not only is Easy Peasy Sales educational and a public speaking workshop educational, it is really great ways to network with similar minded people and places for you to do business. So it's always my pleasure. Have a great weekend. Ta-da!